All right, cool. So where the topic came from, yeah, the Cole situation, side of Prince dissed him,
Hmm.
and to me, it's just corny. I think it's corny because it's like, what are we doing? Like, for me, and when I say hip hop is dead, I'm really coming from a place of we're not at a place where we value the art form, and we don't value the core tenets of what made hip hop what it is. I seen a nigga in a comment talking about, oh, like, are we not supposed to hold Cole accountable? He's getting dissed, so he should show up and blah blah blah. And I'm like, why is that the only form of battling y'all know? Like, y'all weren't around when Eminem was battling Busta Rhymes, or better yet, when Flavor in Your Ear come out.
Right.
That, and keep in
I,
mind that came out before I was born. So I'm
I
if
was
I
born.
yeah, you were born, status.
What you trying
But
to
like,
say?
but if I can go back in time and do my due diligence and research and understand hip hop and all that it is, why can't y'all niggas? And that's why, for me, it's very easy to say hip hop died, because the people who talk about hip hop media or whatever, there's no respect. There's no respect.
I think it boils down to this too. Um, if this was like in a setting, in a possible way of doing this, I wish that we could like see like this virtual, like, how can I say it? When people say that in the comment section, I wish we can like copy and paste them and put them into like a virtual thing where we can actually see who's their top five people they're listening to. And I think that we can kind of like do this at a large scale to see why people really think this way, and like what's the age group, and like if this man's top five is like Little Pump and you know what I'm saying,
Nah,
like
I'm gonna be
I
fair
don't
and
know,
say
like an NBA young boy.
I don't think that's the people that are making them retarded comments. I think
It
it's
might
people.
be though.
Nah, but see, when I see people like that talk, their favorite guys be like, it be some MCs, but like the conversations that they're willing to have is just so stupid and pathetic. Because it's like, these are, put it like this, these are the same people who, if you ask them like who's their top guys, some
Hmm.
way somehow Andre 3000's in there. Now, don't get me twisted.
Did you hear
Andre,
what Maul said though?
what he say?
He as much as I don't like Maul, he actually made a very intricate critique on Andre. It was like, I've always had Andre in my top three, top five MCs. But he said, as I got older, I started realizing like this man doesn't literally have a single no future album to like test out his full capability of MCing. Most people that we put in our top five has a album where it's just solely him of displaying this. It's always either with Outkast or other features, and we respected him because he delivered on each verse, but he never gave us that type of project.
And
He never did.
and that's what bugs me when it comes to thorough hip hop discussions. I'm sure you've seen the Fat Joe and Jadakiss podcast when them talk about J. Cole.
Fat Joe Wyatt, but go ahead.
And I don't have no problem if even if this video blew up and Fat Joe heard this, I can confidently say that man is retarded. And he's retarded because you can't be the
He's
kind of.
trolling, man.
Nah, that's not trolling, bro. We need to start holding these niggas
Yeah,
accountable.
I think it
Y'all
is.
niggas
There's
too
no
old,
way.
bro. It's too old to be like trolling and playing around and not having real hip hop discussions.
I mean, but think about it though. Think
Nah, but
about it.
hold on, like
Adam,
it's goofy because like you out your way talking about Drake can make a comeback. Drake can make a comeback. This Drake is doing this and doing that, and he can man, shut your fat man. That's goofy, bro. It's so goofy, and niggas know it's goofy because how are we gonna sit here and play around like Drake can be at this top of the totem pole, but Cole can't be nowhere
you,
near it. He can't be in
I'm
that
gonna
top
hold
three.
on,
He can't be top
real
five.
quick on Joe though. On Joe, the reason why I think it's half and half, and we're gonna be it's half retarded and it's half trolling. And the reason why I said it is because when they brought Jim Jones on, and Jim Jones was making the heinous remarks about him being more relevant than Nas and not selling Nas, he's done a better thing. Jada was quiet until one part, and Jada was like, he kind of said it in a way, I forgot exactly how he said it, but he was like, you just not, y'all have lost the character of respecting your elders in the hip hop community. And the way he explained it was like, you're reaching and we know you trying to get views. But when Joe heard Jim when he started talking, you could see it on Joe's face, like, buddy kind of tripping. But then he played on the party, he was like, yeah, I kind of see where you coming from. And I'm like, Joe, are you serious?
But see, that's what I'm talking about, bro.
But he know.
Nah, but like, we need, like, that's my problem with niggas, bro. It's not like, yeah, we it's entertainment, and it's a level of playing around that's acceptable, obviously. Like, you know,
yeah,
that's a core tenet of life. There's a time and a place to joke, there's a time and a place to laugh, there's a time and a place to cry. We understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have no Jedi council in hip hop to say, we not joking here. This is not something we plan. This is our art form. And respectfully, we've had every single bit of our art form taken from us or stripped down to its bare bones.
I'm gonna agree with you 100%. Like, we don't have a Jedi council, but they there though.
No,
but the niggas don't even talk to each other. They don't even talk to each other.
Man,
they there.
What?
No, they're living. The council is there. They just spread all across the goddamn.
That ain't a council.
Star Wars galaxy.
That ain't
and
a council.
Not even talking to each.
That's not a council.
That's what I'm trying to say. But it's one thing of not having the council at all, but the council is there and they're not unified.
Nah, bro.
Like, this stuff can happen this year. Like, you know, for real. Like, honestly, like, it could happen this year. But when you got people that could be on the council like Saha the Prince dissing another Jedi, then now we have a problem. That stuff was random and
it's
goofy.
That's not a Jedi then. That's a Ronin.
You know, he just went rogue. That's just what it is. He just went rogue. That's like, it.
But it's
rogue one.
We can't respect that. We need a council.
We gotta remove him from the council.
Nah, but let's keep it a bean. Like, we need people like Nas, Cole, Kendrick, I would have said Andre.
Lupe.
Andre been on some stuff.
Lupe.
No, not Lupe.
No, we're not doing that, bro. Lupe has to be.
We're not doing that, bro.
Hold on,
no. Oh my gosh, he can't be.
Lupe. Man, name a rapper that wanted to be a professor at a school and wanted to break it down and teach it to you. He got to be in the zone, bro.
Kendrick was the first person I ever knew who was ever.
Kendrick ain't never been in no goddamn classroom setting explaining this, breaking it down in diagrams and picture forms.
But from my knowledge, the first person that was ever used for rhythm and poetry curriculum was Kendrick. You can look it up. I can't remember what school it was, but he was the first person who was used as a case study for lyrical and poetic type of breakdowns. He
might have been used, but he wasn't teaching the class.
Hear me out though. The reason I'm like, and I don't want to go too off on a tangent because we're talking about hip hop being dead, but
yeah.
Lupe has taken a considerable shift to using AI, and so has Timbaland. This is a conversation for another day. I don't know if I can put them niggas in the council, bro.
Man, hold on. All right, because I really want to dive in there, but let's stick to the framework.
Yeah, like that's another topic, but like that's on another territory of like, whoa, like we, you know,
yeah.
You're like, whoa, you know, I love.
I got a good argument. I got a good argument for that.
We got a lot of love and respect for Lupe and Timbaland, both unbelievable, legendary hip hop veterans who have done stuff for the game that can never be erased. There's something to be said though about AI usage within hip hop and, you know, AI writing bars and stuff.
Yeah, but
just saying.
Like, I know, but just hear me out. No. I'm not gonna do that. That can literally be an interesting thing. Let's get back to that. let's get back to what we was talking about.
But
Because
and that plays a part too about hip hop being dead. I think the core things of what makes hip hop are these things, and you let me know if you agree. Authenticity. Authenticity.
absolutely,
Now, authenticity don't necessarily mean that you have to live out 100% of what you're talking about. That's
no,
not what
it just has to be. It has to do with the authenticity of the art, the craft
right,
itself.
the character and the place it's coming from, right?
Right.
Because even though J. Cole made an album about a nigga slanging bricks and doing whatever, that's not his story. He's using the story of somebody else to make something. That's authentic. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's not him, it's authentic. You know what I'm saying? It's something real, comes from a genuine place. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by authenticity.
Yeah.
Secondly, the ability, hear me out on this, the ability to care about the writing, the words that you lay out on a track.
Yeah.
So what I mean by that, I don't mean Playboy Cardi. I don't mean Uzi Vert. I don't mean Kodak. I don't mean these people. I mean you sat and you wrote something, not literally like, you can use your phone too. But
no, it's really it's a well thought out.
You cared about what you said.
It's like a Rembrandt painting.
Right. You cared about what you said.
It's like a Van Gogh.
For sure. Like, you cared about what you said, and there was a point and a purpose behind it. Like, it mattered. You know what I'm saying? Because I think when hip hop originated, we had something to say. Now, that doesn't mean we can't appreciate other art forms. I'm talking about hip hop. I'm not talking about rap. Let's make that clear. When we're talking hip hop is dead, hip hop is not rap. Not entirely anyway. Right? There's a lot of rapping niggas who are not
rapping
hip hop.
is rhythmic words put together.
Right, like there's rapping and then there's I'm a hip hop artist. We make hip hop. Those are things that I'm talking about.
Just to clarify for people listening, the baby can rap, right?
Yeah.
But he's not coming in the conversation of an MC, correct? Right?
Here's what I'll say. There is a thin line sometimes, right? I think the baby is
like a Ludacris.
No.
The baby, yeah. Ludacris and the baby both can rap. Like they're good rappers.
I think Ludacris is a genuine hip hop artist, though. I think he's a hip hop artist.
Cool.
But hear me out. But see, that's why I didn't write off the baby immediately. I didn't just say like he's just a rapping nigga. I think I've heard tracks from him. He has something to say. You know what I'm saying? And I do think he cares about rapping and telling stories and saying, but it may not be to the extent of a J. Cole or Kendrick Lamar, but I think he cares. You know what I'm saying? There's that, and then there's making tunes. Like Travis Scott is not a hip hop artist.
He's not. He's an artist.
He's just a artist, and he just raps. But he's not like I wouldn't take him serious in a hip hop discussion. Like if I'm talking about Royce the 5'9", Joe Budden, Eminem.
Now that you mentioning this type of stuff, like, do you think that? I don't think. Do you think like you? I think you would have to just agree that overall in the years of hip hop, we have these different categories and these different titles that hasn't been set down at the round table to really be talked about what is it to be a artist or what is it to be the MC.
That's my point though. It needs to be a council of niggas who they live and breathe it, they understand it. Like LL Cool J should be at that table.
Joe Budden should be at the table.
No, he shouldn't.
Joe Budden should be at the table?
Nah. Now I'm gonna stand on that.
I'm sure.
Okay, my bad. I was gonna I'm about to think out a little bit. Eminem should be at that table. Royce the 5'9" should be at that table. But there needs
standing on the roof, they should be there. But go ahead.
That AI stuff can't be.
Right, we gonna chop it up about that. We gonna chop it up.
But
I can't. I'm gonna have to stand on it.
The point being, that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. Hip hop died because we started remember when, well, I'm gonna say remember when, because I'm saying this like you've been alive forever. I'm
Wait,
saying
what you
though,
trying to
like
say, man?
when Nas dropped Hip Hop Is Dead, that album, remember? Like that's a
Yeah,
that's an iconic album. Even if it's not like a classic or a masterpiece, it's remembered for the moment that it created.
right.
When that album was created and the conversation that was had, do you understand the core tenets of why that was had?
Yeah, because that was, from my point of view at that time, because I was still really young at that time. I think it was because of how hip hop was shifting in the culture sound of the music at that time. Because that was when trap music was entering in.
Boom. There,
So,
you got it. Trap music started becoming a
mhm,
thing. And even though there's a lot of niggas, which shout out to Outkast for bringing in kind of like that realm, Southern rap.
mhm.
We're always thankful and appreciative of that. And we're happy a lot with what we got with it. However, what came with that was a lot of non-hip hop stuff. When J. Cole said on I Love Her Again, he was in a barbershop talking with some niggas. They said the old girl done changed. They don't like the way her fingers snapped. It sounded like she was trapped. That comes from a time period where poetry was not. It was not. It wasn't a focus, bro. It didn't matter as much.
Let me see. This has to do with exactly what you're talking about. But when we're touching on Nas making that album right around when trap music was coming out, kind of addressing the situation of the subject matter, as if it shouldn't be a place in hip hop, right? Let's rewind this back. I do not know the name of the artist. It is an old artist that had a song called. Someone, please don't chop me up because I don't know his name. It either was Pusha Man or Dope Man. When he's like, I'm them this and I'm your that. I'm the Pusha Man. You ever heard that?
I think so.
It's like probably like in the 70s or 80s, somewhere around that era. But that was from the origins that kind of led into hip hop, in a sense. But people love that song. But he's literally just talking about selling dope to people. So are we just bamboozled to think that the things that, because hip hop is street poetry. It's what you're living or witnessing at your current environment. And we put it into a rhythmatic form.
That's my point though. That's what I was saying.
But like, why did we get mad when it eventually evolved into something called trap music? When it's always been in our culture. I don't think
trap music is the problem. That's not where I was going. I was going to the jingle aspect of hip hop, the pop aspect. You love Drake. I can't stand Drake. That's not hip hop to me. That's not hip hop.
Can we state that you did? But that's another conversation.
Huh?
You did. But you did.
I did what?
You did like Drake. You did.
At one point, until he broke hip hop core number one rule. Write your own stuff, nigga, but it's all
right. Back on topic. Let's get on there.
It's cool, I guess, But the point being, though, trap music isn't the issue. The issue is it became something that was inauthentic, soulless, per se. That's the best way to put it. At the core of everything that was black music, whether you're talking about country, whether we're talking about rock and roll, whether we talking about R&B, the blues, jazz, what does everyone associate with black music? What's the one word? Oh, I know, soul. This needs to be a big part when people love talking about it. Even our food. What do they say? Soul food, right? Soul food. We get to dancing and having a party. What do they call it? Soul train. Soul. You know what I'm saying? But don't you? But does it not make your brain? Does it not make your spine tingle a little bit when you hear that? Like the fact that everything we do is associated.
My spine tingle.
Pause, bro. Chill.
Yeah. Nah. That was crazy.
Nah.
Go ahead.
Why that word is associated with so much of what we do? Soul. And at the core, I think hip hop and I won't say it. We won't ever get past this. I feel like we're in a plateau in terms of music in general, not just one particular group of people. But
Uh-huh.
I think hip hop was the
Okay.
core of that. I think hip hop was the peak of that. Like, you want to talk about soul? I think there's two versions of black music that was invented that was really the peak of soul in the definition, the essence of that word. That's jazz, or I guess you can put jazz and blues kind
You
of like
gotta
next to
say
each other.
blues too. You gotta say blues,
Yeah,
bro.
I say
You gotta
jazz and
say-
blues intertwined, and then I say hip hop. I think those are the
Yeah.
two biggest peaks for black art form and into how
So
far we really took
but
that.
when you mentioned Nas and when he made this album and him addressing the current state, right?
Yeah.
The next person to address that part in hip hop, which he didn't make an album about, but he was very verbal, was Wayne. So I can kind of understand where you're going about Nas and why he's doing it. Why do you think Wayne mentioned it, or did you think it was a catchy thing to say because he was the illest rapper at that time?
I thoroughly believe Wayne does love hip hop.
But
thoroughly
they don't have the
believe.
same subject matter. He literally is the
Nah,
complete
for sure.
opposite of what.
But the point being is that Wayne, regardless of what antics or nonsense he was involved in, he has the pure essence of hip hop. He don't disregard none of the old stuff. He love it. He appreciate, even if he not doing those songs with KRS-One.
He's out of touch with the culture, though. That's one thing I don't
Sure.
like.
And that might be intentional. But the point being is like Wayne still carries the essence and soul of hip hop. I'm not saying, and this is the point. I'm not saying we shouldn't enjoy Playboi Carti. That's not the point of this topic whatsoever. Because I can still listen to Baby King. I can still listen to Playboi Carti. I can still listen to Lil Uzi and have a good time. This is not at all some
Like just crap on everyone else, like type junk.
No. Because it evolves, right? There's rock music, but then you got spin-offs of rock music. You got metal, you got deathcore. I'm a big rock fan, so you know where I'm going with it. But like,
Yeah.
I know you not, but like, there's other stuff out there. You know what I'm saying? You have a point from where things started, and then you have the branch offs. I call that stuff kind of like punk hip hop, punk rap. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of what that is. It's more rock starish, and that's cool. Again,
kind of like on some Zilla Kami type junk.
Yeah, like we not the point ain't to like, if you're not hip hop, you're da 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 da. That's not what this is. That's not what this is whatsoever. The point is that the nucleus, the core of hip hop is gone. That is dead. When Cole said, if hip hop is back, JID should chart platinum. Anything less than that, it means y'all capping.
Okay, let me say this. Because I've been just trying to think. Because this is a really good topic. So back to when I was talking about rap is street poetry, right?
Yeah.
And I remember watching him saying that before it was called freestyling, it's called freestyle. And basically, when they was rapping in the cipher, they rapped. It wasn't a topic. It wasn't a framework. It was just what's going on that day. What did I see last week? What's in our culture? Just rhyming and sounding good, right?
Yeah.
Currently, when these people was doing that early in hip hop, they're surrounded by a culture, environment. You ever heard that they say Chief Keef is a product of his environment?
Yeah.
I really feel like this has to be studied when we talk about this topic about hip hop being dead. When hip hop started off, that environment has never left. Most of the MCs, like Cole, Saha the Prince, the whole Slaughter gang, I said Slaughter gang, but the thing is, like, they come from these environments, but they choose to rap about it in a different light, obviously. But the topic of where it's keep coming from it's not outweighing the percentage of people who do not choose to talk. Like I feel like the I guess what I'm trying to say is that the music that people are pumping out of why hip hop is currently dead, we're not really touching on the soul part. I don't think it has to do with the music. I think it's like we never touch on bettering the environment. Like, cause if Nas come out right now and said, "Man, this is why y'all doing this," Cole says this, they get a council going on. If I was invited to the council, which I'm not saying I'm like some great MC or something like that, I still would be. I would not move from the part about this environment that y'all are not really changing. You are a product of your environment. Cole is from Fayetteville. It's a rough place out there, right? But if you hear his music, it don't sound like he come from Fayetteville, unless he tells you. Same thing about Lupe. Lupe, I think, is from the south side of Chicago, one of the worst places you can come from. But his music don't sound like it. But yet he's saying hip hop is dead, but we're not having boots on the ground to fix that. You can't fix the music until you fix the environment. And that might be really where the soul thing is coming from.
Yes and no, because it's only an extension of the people. And there is no definitive way to like fix our situation. That's a socio-economical or political type conversation. That's a long and lengthy one. But I could even to tie it in, even when we
Did
think
that
of
make sense what I was saying though?
yeah. To kind of like give some level of, how do I say it? To give it a much more thorough perspective on when we're having these conversations, because you talk about like where we come from, and we can't fix the music until we fix the environment.
Yeah, because the music is what we live in.
But and this is my thing. I don't necessarily think it has to be both at the same, because we appreciate the struggle story. We appreciate the underdog story. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying obviously keep the hood what it is. I'm saying that we shouldn't attack or maybe have a disregard for hip hop based on the environment, because that's a little bit out of the depth of what we're talking about. An art form. We're not talking about politics. But to speak to a political status anyway, think about think about the way our system is set up. It's a bunch of niggas in chairs deciding stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a bunch of niggas in chairs having conversations that the normal man ain't gonna try to have. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We're not the ones dictating the way our environment works. We see the effects of politics. This is a common thing. This is well known. We see the effects of politics, but we don't know it. Everybody feels when they gotta pay more for eggs and grits. We feel the effects of politics. We don't know what happened though, right? That's why there's a lot of politically ineffective people. I'm not gonna go, it's not the topic for it.
That's a whole
There's a lot of other stuff on that, but like
that can get heated.
but it's a lot of people who do not read. And I'm not trying to be funny. It's not even, I'm not even trying to be funny.
No, I agree.
It's not a black exclusive thing. This is a worldwide exclusive, not exclusive. This is a worldwide thing. It's a global problem, right? Reading rates have decreased by a ridiculous amount. I can't remember the number. I think it was like 40% or something like that. It's pretty wicked. So taking that into consideration, we see the effects of politics. We see the effects of rules or laws or regulations that's put in place, but we don't know what's going on. To a degree, though, we get some feeling of what's going on by watching CNN or watching ABC or NBC or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You watch some form of news to see these council meetings, and hip hop needs that. That's why I find that so important. We need that for someone to say, you niggas is out of pocket talking about Cole is blah, 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 and disrespecting his name because he made one mistake or one thing that y'all don't deem right. That's not culture, bro. That's not culture. All these goofy, corny niggas, Sci-Hi the Prince, Joey Bad, all of them, corny. Simba,
And
all of them corny.
you know what's sad? I'm not trying to stop you from because you're going somewhere, but when you got you know, it's like, dang, bro, you had a place at the council, but you moving kind of different, bro.
And that to me,
I'm not even talking about on a lyrical level. I'm just talking about just
culturally.
Him.
Culturally.
Yeah, just you.
And
so it's like
that's the biggest problem for me. That's what really per se grind my gears. That's what really get me upset, because we in this state of hip hop where a lot of hip hop niggas is not going platinum. A lot of hip hop niggas is not doing numbers. Freddie Gibbs, Alfredo 2 did 20,000 first week. That's whack. Right. That's the Alchemist and Freddie Gibbs project. That's a follow-up to one of the best projects I heard come out in the past recent years. Alfredo 1 was unbelievable. Probably just call it a classic. But did 20,000 first week. Like, to me, that's like, where was y'all niggas at? Y'all showed up for Clip's album, but y'all didn't show up for Chance the Rapper's album, which was phenomenal. Where was y'all at? Like, that's my problem, bro. Where was y'all at? And that's what I'm talking about. All this,
I mean, but
all this clowning on Cole.
Think about it. It's you know, I remember vividly, maybe around like 2010, 2011, which was really good years of hip hop to me, just about the type of music that was coming out. But I remember people like ignorantly saying like, I don't want to hear lyrical, like, and I think about like the rappers that was coming out at that time. And you got your Cuddies and all this stuff. And I'm like, why are we disrespecting the art form that you're currently listening to? You talking about lyrical miracle. Like you don't like to think?
You don't like to think? You cutting out bad, my boy. I ain't gonna lie with you.
What about now?
I mean, it go in and out, so I don't know what's going on, but you be going
I'm in the storage unit. I'm about to leave out the storage unit. But can you hear me now, though?
Yeah.
So it's like y'all don't like to think. Like, I remember people was like, man, nobody want to hear Fabulous. If y'all think y'all gotta think listening to Fabulous, y'all were in danger. Y'all are in danger. I don't know what it is, but I'm like, that's like saying like, nah, I just want to be an idiot. I don't want to do math and social studies. You know, like, forget that. I don't want to be taught at all. I know how to count this bread, though.
And that's the reason I even said something like, when you mentioned Joe, I know you was joking earlier, but when you brought up Joe Budden, I see all this propping up.
He's a phenomenal lyricist, though.
Phenomenal, and he's done a lot in hip hop, and mad respect to him. But like, there was a time he would go hard against like the new generation, and at the time I even understood him. But I feel like as a way to course correct and not be so hated, he leaned too far into excusing nonsense and becoming less of a gatekeeper.
You talking about Joe?
Yeah, like I feel like he was getting clowned so much and talked about for being a gatekeeper, but like, I'm sorry, we need gatekeepers. I know people don't like gatekeepers. They don't like to hear it. They don't like to talk with them. I get that, but this is our stuff. Let me make that clear. This is our art form. And we done had so much taken from us. You see the rise of K-pop, not gonna get too deep into that, but it's ridiculous how much, it's so ridiculous how much of our stuff is being taken. And then other groups of people is just taking credit for it and acting like they doing something fly. You're not doing nothing fly. You taking our stuff, but we're allowing it. Okay. Let
me make it a little interesting. Do you think Lord Jamar was wrong what he said about Eminem then?
Absolutely, 1,000%. I don't even gotta think about that. But you just
said the same. You just said the same thing though.
Nah, because
once one person gets the pass and then the other people are doing the same thing on different levels, obviously.
Because that's not what that's not
Let
what
me
this is. This isn't a other people cannot participate thing. This is context matters. Context matters a whole lot when it comes to us having this conversation. Like when I say this is our stuff and we letting other people take it and run with it and do whatever, I'm talking about people who really just don't even respect it and the culture and where it comes from. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
I got nothing but love for Mac Miller and Eminem. Both of them legends. They're not the same type of legends, but you get what I'm saying. Like
Right. Yeah.
they are
That Miller's
exactly
definitely a legend.
they're exactly who you revere them as. I love and respect Mac Miller and Eminem, and I go back and listen to their stuff all the time, and they are exactly who we know them to be. But then there's them, and then there's Slim Jesus.
hold on, but hold on, respect me. Nah, he can't get nah. You got it.
like let's keep it a stat.
Okay, okay.
There's them, and then there's to a degree Machine Gun Kelly.
99, 10, what is 1900 Rugrat? Like
yeah, like it's them people, and it's those who when they get hot, when the temperature get hot, they dip. And I love Machine Gun Kelly too. I think Machine Gun Kelly is a dope hip hop artist when he's putting into the culture. And I'm not gonna sit here and say he never he wasn't ever part of it. You know, I don't feel comfortable taking that away from him because he did do some dope stuff. But we gotta look at the sucker ish he did when he lost the battle to Eminem, which I mean, come on, bro, you was battling Eminem, and then you can't go run into another genre and do rock music after you lose. Like, nigga, that's lame.
Chill.
You know what I'm saying?
But to his thing, he already was like grafting over there though. He was already.
I mean, to
hey, listen, hold on. We got to give him credit though. Like, how many people taking a jab at him? Like, I don't like. Let's be real.
No,
man.
I'm not taking that away from him. And mad respect to him. It's just corny of him doing that, and the image he took on with it, like on some full pop punk rock star type stuff. And it's like, bro, that's corny. Like, we got to look at you a certain type of way now. Like, that's what I mean. Gatekeep. Like, we need to be able to have people to be like, nah, we look at you sideways now. Like, it don't mean all that you did is invalid and we're going to take away all your credentials. Because that's not what that's about. It's just about being able to say, like, you did something that was not culture. And now we gotta dock some points. I don't have no problem with nobody docking points from J. Cole apologizing. I feel it. And it was a disappointing moment. But to be sitting here docking him points and saying he can't be top 3, let alone top 5, or whatever the case may be, or he at the bottom and blah blah blah, all this other stuff.
I just think besides the whole like. But hold on,
like, saying all that, but then being like, Drake could come back with Iceman. After we got videos of him saying, after we got videos of Millie Bobby Brown saying she met him at an Australian hotel. Yeah, nigga, stop. Yeah, we on that. Yeah, we gonna talk about culture.
My thing too is because I've been seeing a lot of platforms on YouTube that have these type of discussions. Obviously, some of them are not MCs at all, but I can't really grasp around whether J. Cole apologized or not, to literally say that J. Cole is not in his, like, it's like, matter of fact, you know how people say like, oh, he's not in his prime yet, meaning that he hasn't got there? They're stating it like he's past his prime and he should give it up. And I'm like, did you really live? Did you really did you just say pause?
No, I said corny. Like, it's corny.
To
be saying that, I seen a nigga say the off season was better than the fall off. Corny, bro.
It's completely wild. That's wild. That's like, wild.
It's corny.
That's wild.
Like, come on now, like
that means I know you did not listen to the album. See, I got about 4 more tracks to listen on the album because I've been listening to while I'm boxing and everything. Mm-hmm. Bro, there was not a time where I was like, let me get to the phone and skip real quick.
For sure.
I'm just keeping it a bean.
For sure.
I do that all the time when I'm boxing. I might be listening to The Dirt. I might be listening to Jeezy. I could be listening to, like, I don't know anybody, right?
Right.
And then I'm like, oh, yeah, I'm good on that song. Boom. I'm talking about in the middle of the song. Boom.
You know what I'm saying? Like, when I see niggas disrespecting the album, saying whatever, it's very clear who has an agenda. That's
Yeah,
one
for
thing.
sure.
That's one thing that's been clear to me. And to me, there again, going back to the council, it should be a group of vets to say, you niggas out of pocket. So do you agree hip hop is dead? That needs to be concluded here.
Yes. I think it is dead. And I'll say this in my last remarks before going into the next one when we get back on it. I think it's revivable, but I think it's not going to be revived.